Yes. Hi everyone. I am SS Kiran. Last class we discussed about electronic devices and circuits introduction. Okay. In that class, parallel we concentrated on course objectives, course outcomes. Okay. Real-time examples with applications and some justification of course name. Okay. In this class, we will discuss about a review of semiconductor physics. Okay, this discussion already we studied in the lower sections, engineering physics and intermediate physics and chemistry. In this section, in this class, we concentrate on following topics. Okay, the following topics are semiconductor materials, okay, types of materials, energy levels in materials, right, and types of semiconductor. First, we will go with the semiconductor materials. Right. What are the semiconductor materials? In generally, there are first you start annotate. Right. Silicon and germanium is the best semiconductor materials. Okay. Semiconductor. First, we start with definition. Right. Semiconductors are a special class of elements having conductivity between good good conductivity between good conductor, at the same time an insulator, right? Insulator. Okay, again I will tell you, semiconductors are a special semiconductors are a special class of elements having conductivity between that of good conductor and that of insulator, right? This is the silicon and germanium, right? In general, semiconductors are classified into, not semiconductors, in general, semiconductor materials into two classes. That is called single crystal, the same time compound. In single crystal, this silicon and germanium under comes into single crystal. Coming to compound this cadmium sulfide, gallium arsenide, gallium nitride, and gallium phosphide. These are all under comes into this compound material, right? Now come back to the this silicon and germanium. Here you can observe silicon having four valence electrons. Actually, there are three orbits here, 1, 2, 3. The last one is the valence shell. Okay, in this valence shell there are four valence electrons. There are four valence electrons. How it will get four electrons? Actually, silicon atomic number is 14, right? Silicon atomic number is what it is called. Okay, 1 minute. Right, sorry. Okay, silicon atomic number is what? 14. Okay, in this 14, what is the configuration? 1s2, right? 2s2, right? 2p6, 3s2, 3p2. These 2 plus 2 is 4. These 4 are valence electrons. Okay, this is one shell and this is, okay, these are all comes into one shell. This is one, these are the one shell. Okay, at the same time, germanium, the atomic number is 32. Okay, this is also some 1s2, 2s2, 2p6, 3s2, 3p6, 3d10. Last one is the 4s2 and 4p2. This is the four valence electrons. This four valence electron plays a very major role in entire electronics. Okay, these four valence electrons covalent bond with the pentavalent. These four electrons covalent bond with the trivalent. Okay, right. Okay, slowly we can discuss about this discussion right now. Okay. Okay, mouse button. Okay, now this actually pure materials, this silicon and germanium are the pure semiconductor materials. Okay, there is arrangement is also there, right? Now come back next slide, right? Right. Here we concentrate on covalent bond, right? Okay, how a covalent bond of this silicon atom. Actually, this is silicon. This is one valence electron, 1, 2, 3, 4. The neighbor silicon atom having same bond. This bonding is nothing but the covalent bond. As this bonding is nothing but the covalent bond. This bonding is nothing but the covalent bond, right? This structure is nothing but the covalent bonding of the silicon atom. In a pure semiconductor material, silicon is covalent bond with neighbor atoms. Same concept in the germanium also. All electronic gadgets, even ICs manufacturing, ICs, capacitors, whatever it, everything made up of these semiconductor materials only, right? Now come back to mouse. Right. Next one. Now concentrate on types of materials, right? Actually, there are several types of materials. Coming to electronics part, we categorize it into three parts. One is the insulator, semiconductors, and metals. Already semiconductors we studied just now. Actually, these semiconductors are used materials, new high speed, very large scale integrations are all this designed in the semiconductors. Okay, all electronic devices are made up of with the help of the semiconductors only. Yes. Before going to these materials, first we start with the definition. What is the definition of these three materials? Actually, first we concentrate on electricity. In the first and foremost important thing is there is no electricity in the insulators. Good electricity in the metals, right? Again, I will clear, right? 1 minute. Insulators, a very poor conductor, poor because of there is no free of electrons. A very poor conductor of electricity is called insulator. Please note down this point. Okay. Coming to the metal. Okay. An excellent conductor in the metal. In the metal having a good conductivity, there is a rigorous of free of electrons is there. There is good movement of the electrons. Okay. An excellent conductor is called metal. And substance whose conductivity lies between insulator and metals extreme is called the semiconductor. Okay, again I will clear here, 1 minute. Very poor conductor of electricity in insulator, excellent conductor in metal, substance lies between these insulators and metals is called the semiconductor. Already we studied something about the semiconductor materials. Slowly we can concentrate. Okay, right. Now come back to the mouse. Right. Now, right. Before going to these materials, first we categorize it into some parts. Okay. Conductivity, resistivity, forbidden gap, conduction, conductivity value, current flow, everything. We concentrate on these following three materials. Okay. in conductivity part, very low in the insulator. Actually, see, one example, I wrote this one, right? This is, these are the insulating materials. Okay, glass, plastic, ceramic, rubber, wood. These are all under comes into a insulating materials. In these insulators, a very low conductivity, but resistivity is very high. Please remember this point. At the same time, current flow due to negligible of free electrons, very few electrons are there. Very few electrons are there. Okay, due to negligible of free electrons, there is no current flow. Okay, both the bands, actually there is forbidden gap, there is a gap. Next we discuss this one, 6 electron volts. Okay, these are all the first annotate, right? Next one. These are all the metals. Okay, what are the metals? See here. This silver, gold, copper, steel. See, okay, these are all some good electrical conductors. According this, copper is the best metal, best conductor for the flow of electrons from one area to one place to another place. Most of the electrical and electronic equipments are made up of with the help of this copper material. In electronics part, there is a 3 type of materials. One is the insulator, and the second one is the semiconductor, and third one is the metal. Just now we discussed about the semiconductors and insulator. Now coming to metal, copper is the best example. Coming to the copper, coming to the metals, there is high conductivity, low resistivity, rigorous of flow of number of electrons due to free electrons. Okay, negligible. There is resistivity value around 5 ohms. Okay, in the mega ohms, in coming to insulator, there is a mega ohms. Okay, these are all the some examples of the insulators and metals. Okay, already we discussed about the semiconductors, right? Now come right clear, right? Now energy levels in semiconductor, insulator, and metal. See here, first we have to annotate here, right? Right. This is insulator, right? This is semiconductor, this is metal, right? Actually, right, okay. For example, this is valence band, right? This is conduction band. For example, if any electron are trying to come to the conduction band, is nothing but conduction will be started. When conduction will be started because of the flow of electrons, right? When will you conduction will be started? Because of the flow of electrons, right? Now, first, within atomic structure, each and every isolated atom, there are specific energy levels. Okay, this is conduction band, this is valence band. This gap is nothing but energy gap. This gap is nothing but the energy gap, right? These electrons free to establish conduction. In valency band, valence electrons bound to atomic structure. So there is a restriction here. In this conduction band, there is no restriction. Easy to move from one place to another place. Now, valence electrons bound to the atomic structure. When if it is jump to valence to conduction band, electrons are free to establish for conduction. Conduction means what? The flow of electron. Once if it is comes in a conduction band, the flow of electrons conduction will be started. For example, if any electron in single electron trying to jump from valence band to conduction band, how much energy gap is required? 6 electron volts. Okay, the farther an electron is from the nucleus, the higher is in the energy state. Okay, electron that left its patent atom has a higher energy state than any electron in the atomic structure, right? Now coming to the insulator. Actually, we are all discussing the insulator. Okay, in the energy band structure is indicated here. Actually, this is once again I will annotate here. Okay, this is the energy band structure. This discussion is very important. Please concentrate. Please concentrate. The energy gap is 6 electron volt. Okay, the large forbidden band separate the filled valence region from vacant conduction band. Okay, generally in this insulator we can observe around 10 to the power of 7 electrons per meter cube. There is a free of electrons around roughly 10 to the power of 7 electrons are there. It's very difficult to jump from valency band to conduction band. Sometimes there is a chance, actually this is 5 ohms, right? Right. This is the insulator. Now coming to the semiconductor, right? This is very important concept. Why? Because there is a possibility, 50-50 chances. Sometimes there is a chance to jump from valence band to conduction bands. There is no chance to jump from valence band to the conduction band. Okay, that's why these semiconductors are playing a very vital role in electronics part. Okay, if you give the power supply, then start the conduction from jumps to valence band to some conduction band, right? A substance for which the width of the energy region relatively 1.1 electron volt for silicon, 0.67 for germanium, 1.43 for some gallium arsenide. Just we can apply some energy, some within electron volts around 0.6 and 1.1, 1. There is a chance, 100% chance to jump electrons from valency band to conduction band. Once if it comes into the conduction band, there is a rigorous flow of the electrons. Okay, right. Okay, once again, clear, right? Right. Coming to the metals. In this metal, energy gap between from valency band to conduction band is overlapped each other because of okay, one thing I forget about in the semiconductor. In semiconductor, the electrons are around 10 to the power of 7 to 10 to the power of 28. These ranges follow the entire semiconductor. But in this metal, we can stick on the specific number that is called 10 to the power of 28 electrons meter cube. Right? There is no further discussion. There is no energy gap between the valency band and conduction because of because there is a number of electrons are there in this metal. Right? Right. Now, in this metal, which consists a partly filled band structure, is called the metal. Under the influence on applied electric field, electrons may acquire additional energy to move into higher states. Okay, if we acquire some energy, move into the higher states. Right. Okay. Now the next one. Right. Okay. Now types of the semiconductor. This discussion is very helpful for the next entire course. Okay. Now start with the annotation. This is called intrinsic semiconductor and extrinsic semiconductor. Actually, these semiconductors are classified into 2 types: intrinsic semiconductor and extrinsic semiconductor. Intrinsic semiconductor is also called pure semiconductor. there is no impurities. Very pure semiconductor is nothing but the intrinsic semiconductor. Okay, whatever the number of charge carriers, either electrons or holes, or both are equal quantity, is nothing but the intrinsic semiconductor. Now, extrinsic semiconductor is nothing but the impure semiconductor, at the same time doped semiconductor. For example, this is one material. Okay, this is the pure semiconductor, intrinsic semiconductor. We can change it to, see how is the beauty. This intrinsic semiconductor is disturbed with impurities. Simply adding, simply doped with other charge carriers, this intrinsic semiconductor is converted to the extrinsic semiconductor. In this beauty of electronics, changes entire the world. See, once again, this is intrinsic semiconductor, right? This intrinsic semiconductor adding some impurities, okay, like electrons or electrons. Now, this adding of impurities is nothing but the extrinsic semiconductor. That's why this adding of impurities is nothing but the doping. That's why this extrinsic semiconductor is called impure semiconductor. To adding some impurities with the help of doping, that's why this is called doped semiconductor. Okay, see how a pure semiconductor is converted to impure because of this doping. Right? Doping is nothing but to adding impurities to the pure semiconductor is nothing but the doping. Now we can start with the intrinsic semiconductor, right? A pure semiconductor is called intrinsic semiconductor. Even at the room temperature, some of the valence electron may acquire sufficient energy to enter conduction band from free electrons. For example, this is one electron. There is a chance to jump this electron from valence band to conduction band. Once if it comes into a conduction band in this electron, it is very free. It is very free electron. It can move anywhere. If for example, electron in this place, it bound with the nucleus. There is no movement. Please remember this point. If any electron in the valence band, there is no further movement, bound with the nucleus. Once if you apply any energy around 0.6 or 0.1 something, anything, if it is readily comes to the conduction band. Once if it comes into conduction band, this can, okay, again I will annotate. Once if it is conduction band, this can be treated as a free electron, right? If, for example, this electron is jump here some vacant space is created, right? Why? Because this electron is jumped to conduction band, some vacant place is created. This vacant place we called as a hole, right? Very important concept. Please, once again, I will repeat you. This electron is trying to jump by applying some energy in terms of 0.6 or 1.1 something electron volts. This electron is jumped to valence bond. Here one vacant space is created. This vacant space is called hole, right? Okay, this is nothing but the electron hole pair in semiconductor, right? Electron hole pair in semiconductor. Now, how actually what happened? You know, here some thumb rule is there. These zero is identified as a hole. This is hole. This is hole. Electrons. these holes are always trying to attract to the negative terminal. Indirectly, these holes are always trying to repel. Repel means there is a repulsion between this hole and this positive terminal. Okay, vice versa. These electrons are always trying to repel this negative terminal. This electron is always trying to attract this positive terminal. Again, I will tell you 1 minute, right? Clear drawing, right? This electron's direction is like the holes direction is like this, electrons direction is like this, because of applying this power supply. There's some current conduction in the semiconductor. Now, don't worry, we will discuss in the next section how this attraction and repulsion. Very simple. Electrons are trying to attract these electrons. These electrons are trying to attract this positive terminal. These electrons are trying to repel this negative terminal. Right? Now come back to next slide. Okay, a missing electron in the valence band, a vacant space. Already I have discussed it, right? Okay. This one. Okay, 1 minute, 1 second. This combined with holes at the same time. Now next slide. Right. Now, already I have discussed it. What is that? 1 minute. There is a drawing is important, right? Okay. This extrinsic semiconductor we can call as a impure semiconductor or doped semiconductor. This impure semiconductor again classified into two types. One is N-type and the other one is the P-type, right? One is N-type, other one is the P-type. What is N-type material, right? Actually very simple and just to be concentrate. N-type semiconductor. Okay, an N-type material is created by introducing impurity elements. Okay, actually there is a antimony material is there, some antimony element. This is the group fifth and fifth valence of electron. Actually there is in antimony there is 5 not only antimony, pentavalent elements like this antimony, arsenic, phosphorus. These are all having pentavalent elements. Okay, these are all in the pentavalent elements. This is actually our silicon is the actually this is having 4 valence electrons. Okay, group 4, the pentavalent, right? These 4 electrons, this 4 electrons is combined each one. Like for example, this silicon covalent bond with some antimony electron and other one. The 4 electrons is combined. So here there is one electron is there's one electron is the one electron is there, that is called E. Right? This electron is called fifth valence electron. Okay, for example, an N-type materials like pentavalent such as antimony, arsenic and phosphorus is member of subset of periodic table elements referred as a group 5 having 5 electrons. Okay, there are these an additional fifth electron is there. An additional fifth electron is there, particularly covalent bond. Okay, now what happened? This fifth electron is donated. Donated means that's why it is called donor. Donated a relatively free electron to the structure. Okay, this what is called this antimony is covalent bond with silicon material. One electron is donated, that is called free electrons. In free electrons, N-type material is created with the help of the valence electron like pentavalence. Okay, how n-type is created? Simply introducing impurity elements that have 5 valence electron like pentavalent, like such as antimony, arsenic, phosphorus is doped with this silicon material or germanium material, all group 4 material. One free electron is created. Impurity atom has donated a relatively free electron. Now n-type material is created. Right? In n-type material, the majority charge carriers are electrons. Keep remember, in n-type material, the majority charge carriers are electrons. The minority charge carriers are holes. Okay, later we discuss how it will become. Now coming to the p-type material, same concept. P-type material is doping a pure germanium or silicon crystal. Here I forget about germanium or silicon, whatever it is those elements are covalent bond with boron or gallium or indium. So trivalent impurities. Okay, here pentavalent, here trivalent impurities are covalent bond with the silicon material. What happened? Okay, this group 3 has 3 valence electron. This trying to accept. Okay, here electron is the donating, here electron is trying to accept. Okay, now what happened here? The resulting vacancy is called hole. For example, here there is no free electron, so this creates one space. So what happened? This silicon are trying to jump here. Here one place is created, that is called hole. The resulting is called a hole, represented by small circle. Okay, the hole is represented by small circle. 1 minute, 1 minute. I will clear the chart. Right. Clear the chart. Okay. Now this is called a small circle. Sometimes we can call it as a hole. Okay, annotate here. This is the hole, small. This is the electron. Now coming to the p-type material. Here actually what happened? This boron having only 3 electrons. 1, 2, 3. Each bond with the near silicon material. So one is not covalent bond with other silicon material. So here created some vacant space. Here created some vacant space. This vacant space can be treated as a hole. Is ready to accept. If electron is easily joined with him, here this is called accepting element. Here trying to donate some material, that is electron. Here n-type materials are donating. Okay, here p-type materials are ready to accepting ions, donating ions, here the accepting ions, right? That's why it is called readily accept a free electron. Now in the p-type material, actually this discussion already in the study in the lower section. For the better understanding perception, again here I will discuss it. Okay, the p-type material is formed by doping a pure germanium silicon crystal with impurity atoms having 3 valence electrons. The element most frequently used this purpose of boron, gallium. In p-type material, the majority charge carriers are holes. Please, majority charge carriers are holes. The minority charge carriers are electrons. The coming to the summarized points are, okay, coming to summarization, in the n-type, the majority charge carriers are electrons, minority charge carriers are holes. Okay, in p-type, the majority charge carriers are holes, the minority charge carriers are electrons. Okay, now come back to next slides. Okay, this is the discussion. If any doubts, I will discuss in the chat box. Thank you so much. Right? Okay.